If you guys don't know, David J. Felding was the voice of Zordon in the hit classic Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, not to be confused with that crap they call Dino Thunder per se. And we have some new information. We have an exclusive interview that was obtained by a member of the Resilient Army talking about his pay. All right, so what ended up happening, right, is a member of the Resilient Army, shout out to Lightning, reached out to David J. Fielding with a question via email. And shout out to him for doing this per se. He says, hey, hey, Saban, hi. Saban paid me the going rate that was standard for non-unions. Non-union, hold on, let's just do it like this. Non-union day pay for 1 day shoot. The going rate in 1992 was $150 for a non-union actor. He didn't break any laws by doing this as far as the legal end of things. He offered a role at a rate that was being paid to any actor on any non-union project at the time. Was it fair? Probably not. But I was only the one getting that amount for 1 day's work. So he was getting paid $150. David Fielding, Zordon. Zordon, guys don't know, he was getting paid $150 for a day's worth of work. But what you don't know is he only worked for 1 day. 1 day and did it. Now, if the show had been union, he goes on to say, I more than likely would not have been cast, and the part would have gone to a more established actor. So he's aware that the only reason he got this role is because it was non-union. All right, which is true. The same way Bryan Cranston got the role in 2017 movie. I am not sure what the 1 day contract for a union actor is, but I'm sure it was probably 4 or 5 times what I got paid. So he doesn't really know per se. There was no plans, as far as I know, to keeping filming Zordon after that shoot, because I believe they had planned to recycle the footage over and over to save on production costs. Now, you could argue that that was unfair. It would have been nice to have been a permanent cast member like the original 5 Rangers, or this is shade. When you see this original 5 right here, sorry guys, when you see the original 5, this is shade. This is shade. I don't know how to put it other than it's shade. So when you see this, the original 5, just know it's like that ASJ, like, oh, the original 5, if we were together, blah, 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 blah. But it'd been 5 times more than what I got paid. Going back, there was no plans, as far as I know, to keep filming Zordon after this shoot, because I believe they had planned to recycle. Hold on, we got that part. I would have been paid a bit more and had a bigger credit to be proud of. So he's really not proud of the work. In Power Rangers, union TV shows also pay residuals, which continue to be paid to actors after a show has run its course and it is sold into syndication. None of the actors on the show were union, therefore Power Rangers did not pay residuals. The little money that was made did not last beyond the time of the show. This is true. What do I think should have been? Now look, everyone bases what they want after after they saw the success. What do I think I should have been paid to allow them to use my likeness episode after episode, season after season? Now remember, he did sign this contract. Okay. It would have been nice to have been paid a union salary for my time on the show. Looking online, I cannot find a breakdown of what that salary would have been, but I imagine it would have been in the neighborhood of $30,000 for a year. Some TV shows at the time were paying actors $30,000 an episode. Yeah, established actors, not just ninjas off the street. That's what these these original five, these Walter Jones and Austin St. John's, they always compared themselves to what other people were getting paid, but those were established actors. There wasn't just like, hey, you've never been in a TV show. Okay, here's $30,000. You're our guy. As Power Rangers was literally looking for anyone with a warm body that could probably read a line, for the most part, to be in Power Rangers at that time. Okay. The more popular the show becomes, the more actors get paid. This is true. And if Power Rangers had been as popular as Friends was in the 90s, would have been possible the main actors would have received $1 million per episode. These ninjas, remember when JDF said they wanted $1 million per episode? And everyone was like, oh, he's just talking out of his ass. I'm like, well, they keep bringing up $1 million per episode. And I think they really wanted $1 million per episode. Again, that's just speculation. I really have no idea what I should have been paid. An unknown actor who was lucky enough to get cast in a TV show that became very popular because of toys and merchandise. Remember, Power Rangers was just a commercial for the toy product. But, David Fielding is, maybe not in the best of spirits, knowing that Haim is a billionaire off of Power Rangers and some other projects doing this. Now, when you look at his IMDb, what is he known for? Look at this shit right here. The Order. Zordon, 149 episodes, in which we know he only filmed for one day. Bloodline of the Grid, which is a mini TV series, right? On YouTube. So if you think about it, I don't know what he did in the sanitarium, but his career is not that expansive. And you could pretty much say it didn't even extend past 2000 because The Order never came out. Narrator is YouTube, but you do what you may with that. Now, as it goes on, Zordon did an exclusive interview, Legacy Interviews. I'm not sure when this took place, but we have an exclusive Zordon interview. And let's go right here for it. All right. So how was the character Zordon Zostar presented to you in the pilot and in the actual air pilot? He says it was presented pretty much the way you see the character in the show. He was an intergalactic sage or wise warrior being who had been trapped in a time warp. Who had been trapped in a time warp by his nemesis, Rita. I was told that the character would appear as a giant head in a tube that would have been the mentor to a new group of superheroes, a Professor X type who would guide and advise the teenagers on the best way to defend the enemies that Rita would throw their way. Okay. All right. Okay. What was the audition process like? Okay. Well, this is a good question. It was different from most and very much different from what other actors on the show had to go through. Normally, we would go through a number of rounds of auditions, and with up to 500 or more actors vying to get the role. In my case, since they were looking to film very quickly, they were looking to cast much quicker than normal. When I went to audition, there were just two of us, as I recall. In the end, I got chosen to play the part of Zordon. Now, if you don't remember, the other person was the gay man that Austin St. John was making fun of in the clips that, went viral. So Austin's like, no, I couldn't take orders from him. Did you have to do anything special cosmetically to film for Zordon? What was it like to have makeup painted on you and shaving your head to be Zordon? I did have to shave my head for the role. The day we filmed, I went to the warehouse building in North Hollywood and had been selected, and where they had the green screen they would film me against had been set up. I went to the makeup area and they shaved me bald, applied a base foundation to my face and darkened my eyebrows. They glued my ears back so they would lie flatter to my skull, and then painted the upper half of my chest and shoulders with green latex paint. So when we filmed the process, only thing that would show through was my head. All right, so they basically green screened this ninja. Yeah, I'm saying. Let's keep it going. Did you try to emulate a certain character from any universe when doing the Zordon voice or mannerisms? During their audition and reading the lines, my take on the character was based on a father quality. And given the description I was given, I also thought about how he was sort of godlike being. I tried to imagine how Zeus might sound, speaking to mortals, or someone like Hercules, authoritative or larger than life, but in a mentoring way, not a controlling or talking down to you sort of way. He is, after all, a benevolent being. Oh, okay. All right. All right. How long did filming of Zordon scenes take? We filmed, I best can remember, about 3 or 4 hours. It may have been shorter than that, but my recollection is going down the early morning and getting down about 6 or 7 at night. Okay, so 12-hour shift. All right. Why is he describing me, Henry? Funny. What did you think of Bob Manahan's taking over the voice of Zordon? I wasn't actually there for that part. By the time the series had started to air, I was unhappy living in LA, and so had told the producers I would be leaving. I never got the chance to meet Mr. Mayhem, but I think they did a good job trying to match the tone and quality of the voice that I initially created for the character. Were you approached at all? Here we go. Here's the big part, guys. Were you approached at all for the first Mighty Morphin Power Rangers movie? Initially, I had received a phone call about it, but, when they were still planning to film in LA, but when the decision was made to film in Australia, they hired Nicholas Bell to play the role. Mr. Mahan still voiced the character when he was in the tube, I believe. What did you think of Zordon's sacrifice at the end of Power Rangers in Space? Okay, for my Power Rangers in Space ninjas, I thought the writers handled his death with care and grace. It was nice to know that the character made the sacrifice he had asked the Rangers to give the best of themselves in the face of great odds, knowing that he was willing to give up his life in defense of them using them was very gratifying. I think we only got 2 more questions. 3 more. All right. Were there plans to bring Zordon out of the tube? Were there any ideas for the character that got scrapped? If there were, I never heard about them. As far as I can recall, the character would always be in the tube and would only serve to guide and advise the Rangers. I think there was a lot of backstory about Zordon that was never really explored, but the show was more about the Rangers ultimately. So it makes sense that they wouldn't want to keep his character as a steadfast and constant ally. All right. If somehow Zordon was revived, would you return to the Shore House show? Yeah, he would, man. Like this is a goofy question. Considering all these Power Ranger actors haven't been cast in shit since they left Power Rangers, with the exception of a couple, with a handful of people who can still get cast in things. But David Feldon ain't been in shit since the 1990s. So yes, I would. I had a great time filming the character and honored and humbled that the character is so well thought of by fans, I guess. As far as how Zordon would return to the show, I guess it would be up to the writers and producers, as we're all beings of energy and the energy can never really be destroyed. I'm sure it could be possible to see the character return. In what form or what the story would be surrounding that return, I really don't know. It would be up to the creative team working on the show to make those kind of decisions. As fans, we loved your images of No Hate campaign. What caused you to take part in this? Like, imagine being in No Hate and then sharing the stage with Austin St. John as he makes fun of a gay person. Like, what? Yeah, I'm part of No Hate campaign. Hey, but wasn't you with Austin because of the whatchamacallit? With him making fun of a gay person? Yeah, did you say anything? No, I didn't. All right, Ninja. I'll put out a tweet after people called me out on it, though. I was actually approached by Adam Baca's team, who was going to be shooting folks at Power Morphicon, to take part. I was very honored to take part because I believe very strongly in equal rights for all. Bullying and discrimination are things we never really try to eliminate from our lives. But yeah, man. But he was part of this one location, so it's not like he went out of his way to get into the No Hate campaign. And two, I believe Zach Taylor McGinnis was his agent, and still is his agent. If I'm not mistaken. Are these other shits he was in? Oh, he got a lot of credits. I don't know. I don't know, man. Would y'all be here for a David Fielding interview? Like, I don't know what he would say that could be of value per se. But what do you guys think of his interview? Let me know. We would ask that Ninja about the order for sure. I'd be like, Ninja, we just want to talk about the order. We're having all that money and get some details confirmed. But there is David Fielding's interviews, one about his pay and the other of him reflecting on his 1 day work of him. See, look, Dust like, I don't care about an interview with him. I mean, but you got to ask him about the order. That's his big claim to fame. Order. That's all I want to talk about. But ain't he friends with Karen? Yeah, because who you think bust down the money with? Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. I'll see you next video. Peace.